The devil's goal is to stop our good progress, so we must focus on God. We must keep our minds on the Word and seek His will moment by moment. Praying and reading the Bible can feel undesirable at times because the devil knows that they lead to good progress. We must recognize the spiritual warfare at hand and diligently pursue spiritual activity, even when our flesh would rather scroll through the phone. When we begin making good progress, or even considering doing the things that lead to it, the devil will attack. So often, the attack comes in the form of a distraction. The devil wants our focus away from where it should be. The devil desires for us to go back to our old habits. Everyone falls short. The key is to not be discouraged when we mistakenly take a step backward, but instead learn from the mistake and take a step forward again. No matter how many steps backward we may have taken, as long as we have air in our lungs, the option to begin moving forward again is always available. We must learn from the past, not sulk in it. Change can only occur in this present moment. Again, when we start separating from certain bad habits, we can expect the devil to attack. He may use another person to tempt us, or he may attack our minds directly with distractive or blasphemous thoughts. To resist the devil, we must first submit to God. To submit to God, we must have our minds on Him. Striving to maintain a mindfulness of God is extremely important. We should pray for focus daily. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. The devil's traps are only successful if we step into them. Instead of wasting time blaming and complaining about the trap setter, we should take accountability and reflect on what measures can be taken to avoid the trap. It's great when someone can teach us how to avoid the trap in the first place, but oftentimes we need to step into it ourselves to properly learn how to avoid it. Again, the key is to not sulk in the mistake, but instead learn from it. For a just man falls 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked will fall into mischief. When we continually reflect on where we can be doing better, and then take action, we will grow, and the devil will be forced to use new tactics. The devil may be clever, but he has limited tactics. With diligence, we will become well aware of Satan's various tactics. The devil always shows his hand. We just must have our spiritual eyes open. Our job is to remain mindful of God and seek a renewed understanding from Him daily. Through a patient and persistent pursuit of righteousness, we will prosper. We should pray for clearer spiritual sight daily. But that on the good ground are they, that in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, keep it, and bring forth fruit with patience. Finally, the devil's most subtle attack is prideful thinking. We can separate from pride through seeking true humility continually. We must never cease to remember that it is God who does every good thing for us, and our actions must reflect this thought. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle to all men, apt to teach, patient, in meekness instructing those that oppose themselves, if God peradventure will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth, that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools pours out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he that regards reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish does not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves him that follows after righteousness. Correction is grievous to him that forsakes the way, and he that hates reproof will die. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scorner loves not one that reproves him, neither will he go to the wise. A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him that has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart has a continual feast. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. A wrathful man stirs up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. The way of a slothful man is as a hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. A wise son makes a glad father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walks uprightly. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good it is. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain troubles his own house, but he that hates gifts will live. The heart of the righteous studies to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report makes the bones fat. The ear that hears the reproof of life abides among the wise. He that refuses instruction despises his own soul, but he that hears reproof gets understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility.